Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. It is our weekly recap of the Sex and the City reboot and Just Like That that's available on the HBO Max app. They are not paying me, but what? They should. As you can see, we have Willie Garson here. We're going to talk all about this episode, but I had to start off with this. Oh my goodness. I don't like how they did his story. I know it's easy just to say he went off, he's divorcing Anthony, and he's in Japan, and we'll pretend as if he isn't gone. But I didn't like it. I don't know how we could have handled this, but you know, it is what it is. Anyways, guys, let me make sure I have my stuff up here. Do I have it up here? Oh, there we go. Let's get into some holiday music. Happy holidays. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. Sometimes that's the biggest holiday for anyone, more than Christmas Day. So happy holidays. Merry Christmas if you celebrate. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah. I know Hanukkah's been over. We celebrated. We had a menorah and everything. Anyways, let's get into some Christmas holiday spirit. Guys, welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. And as I say daily, don't expect content Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. And I don't want to even give you the pressure of keeping up to date on what's going on. Doesn't mean that there might be a story that breaks and I have to report on it. But more than likely, I'm going to give you a rest. I'm going to give myself a rest so that we can celebrate the holiday together. No matter what you're doing, I'm hearing so many people have COVID right now. Sending you all love and good health. Good health. More than ever, you know, we say that, but do we truly understand what that means? Well, if you're feeling good, you are in good health, celebrate that this season. Sending you all kinds of good health for the new year. Lots to celebrate. We did a lot in 2021. And thank you to my moderators. Thank you to Diana for reminding everyone from August to November, this channel raised over $10 $1,000 for charity. So thank you to all of you that donated, that shared the live, that continue to watch and promote everything that we do here on the channel. This month, we decided not to do a fundraiser because I know all of you are stretched thin to try and get gifts for your family and loved ones. We appreciate everything that you guys have done. Shout out to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members that have supported the channel since we started doing channel membership as well. Thank you to my TikTok following for what you guys do as well, for promoting what I've done on there. We appreciate everything that you guys continue to do here. And I see the hold on, y'all. Oh Lord. We got trolls in here. Let me make this a subscribers only. Hold on, y'all. We can avoid some of this crap. Hold on. Let me just make the subscriber. We already got trolls in the chat. Trolls in the chat. I'm gonna make the subscribers only for the last 5 days. There we go. Let's close out the chat. Let's close out the chat. And honestly, I didn't do that. I honestly did the subscribers only live chats because I wanted those people that have been subscribers for a while now to have an opportunity to win the 12 days of giveaways that we were giving away. That was the only reason. I normally do keep the live chat open because I want everyone that, even if you're not committed to subscribing to the channel, there are tons of people that watch the videos, which is still a support of the channel, that do not subscribe. I appreciate it. You're still someone that supports what I do, and I appreciate that. So many of you have hit me up and said, I became a subscriber today, but I've been watching for months. I appreciate it. Sometimes you got to be consistent for people to like, okay, I want to make sure I see what this guy is doing. Okay. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much again for another super chat today. I appreciate you supporting the channel. Happy holidays. Be safe, everyone. Really, and I mean that when I say that. Be safe. I'm way too many people that I know tested positive for COVID this week. I will be in my house. I'll be in my house hiding. Not hiding. You know what? I'm joking. I'm being facetious. Guys, if you missed any of the lives that we did earlier today, we did a Real Housewives of Orange County live. Femtaro made a surprise appearance. She even took some of your questions. Also, we went live a little bit earlier to do our Real Housewives of Miami live. We even had a guest in the chat, allegedly an executive producer from the Real Housewives of Miami. And he told us to buckle up. There's more coming. You never know who's watching. You never know who's watching. Dr. Payne, thank you so much for the super chat. Trolls, please find a bridge. I wonder where these trolls come from. Is it just some weirdo in his home, just like this on a computer, or is it automated? I always wonder. Not really. I don't wonder that much. But we're very lucky. We don't get a lot of trolls. And look, I got my black tourmaline to keep the trolls out. So they're good. They're good. Let's get into this, though, because we have a lot to talk about. As you know, I love Sex and the City. I've loved Sex and the City. Now we have this new iteration. And just like that, a lot of people have been critical, including ourselves. And I'm going to be critical tonight. I'm definitely going to be critical tonight because I feel I just realized that this entire episode, we were being introduced to their new people of color friends. It just feels a little forced. And everyone has been really critical about, and just like that, feeling this fake wokeness. And it does feel a little forced. It does feel a little forced, but I do disagree. There are some people that do not like the Shay character. I like the Shay character. We have to give this character time to ease into what that's going to be for the show. I like Shay. I like Shay, even though you guys don't. Let me turn my snow off because I feel like I keep inviting snow. Alim says, so many black folks in this episode and actually speaking. Look, so many people were critical of Sex and the City because you live in the most diverse city in the world and your main characters are all white. But now I feel like it's overcompensating for that. But I still enjoyed the episode. I thought the episode was solid. Let me just kind of go through some of my notes so I don't miss anything. Let me close this. Okay. So we already know Nicole Ari Parker, Lisa, is Charlotte's new friend. She really is sort of like supposed to be like the Black Charlotte, technically. I kind of like the friendship, but last week, remember I said rewatching it, it felt a little forced, bringing Nicole into the mix. But now, as they're developing the character, introducing Charlotte into her life, Charlotte was a little bit I like what they did with Charlotte's story this week in regards to her trying to find the black friend, because I feel like there are people very much like Charlotte. And to me, it makes complete sense from what we got in Sex and the City to what we're getting now. You didn't really have black friends back in the day on Sex and the City. So now that you're in this or trying to implement this in your world, because let's be real, it wasn't just in the 60s where there was this separation. It was also in the 90s. It was also in the 2000s where people today, black people can't live in certain parts of New York. Never mind other parts of the United States. There are parts of New York black people cannot live. I grew up in one of those areas. Just saying. So I'm trying to see the artistic side of this. There are also some podcasts that they're doing that are explaining what they're trying to do with the show. I haven't had an opportunity to listen to them. Hopefully, maybe over the holiday, I'll be able to listen to how they're trying to tell this story. I'm still enjoying it, though. I'm still enjoying it. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. I'm going to drop the call link because I know you guys have opinions. You always do. And I like hearing them because they really give me another perspective. Dustin, thank you so much for always supporting the channel. Thank you for the super chat. I'm gonna go Christmas to Happy New Year. Hope your holidays good, and I hope you're trying to grow in 2022. Congratulations, 160,000 followers. So I break your days off. You need a break. Thank you so much, Dustin, for supporting the channel. Appreciate you. Thank you. Wait, hold on. Courtney says, I just do not believe that none of those black folks would not razz Charlotte over her prepping all the artwork info. Well, Courtney, was it her really prepping all the artwork info? I mean, yeah, probably on some level. But we have to remember, Charlotte, before she was, a wife and mother, was an artist. I mean, she was an art curator. She worked for a gallery. So she does know art. So to me, that didn't feel, if she didn't have that history, then I would be like, yeah. We do see her prep her husband for the black conversation, but she also was someone that was in the art world. So let's not forget that. So she does have understanding. Sidebar. First of all, art is a great investment. We learned that from some of our predecessors. Art is a great investment. Even handbags are a piece of art. That's another great investment. Watches are a great investment. Not this Apple Watch, real watches. Exactly, Olymp. She's an art curator. With that being said, I love the art that was in that apartment. That is goals. So trust and believe, when I have my apartment in Manhattan, that's exactly what my apartment's going to look like. All of those black artists, oh, gorgeous. Sidebar, there's supposed to be a Jean-Michel Basquiat thing happening here in New York next year. I can't wait to go to that. Anyways, I'm digressing. But Basquiat, it's like millions of dollars to own his stuff. One day. Anyways, I'm digressing again, but that's what we do. Happy holidays. Okay, so Charlotte is developing this new friendship with Lisa. She plans a dinner, ends up having to, her friend Lisa ends up canceling, so she doesn't have the dinner, but she goes through this whole thing. She's looking through the list. She's like, our entire list is vanilla. All I have is white friends. I don't want her to think I just have white friends, but you do. And that's okay. White people, it's okay that you have all white friends. It's okay. But I do invite you to mix it up a little bit. Mix it up a little naturally, though. Don't do what Charlotte did. I need to invite more black people. I need to find that my token black friend. Don't do it. Let it be organic. Like her friendship with Lisa, I feel like it's an organic friendship, not the neighbor. The neighbor was like, girl, I haven't spoken to you in 2 years. We live in the same building. Literally just had that conversation with a friend. I was like, you literally live 5 minutes away from me. Now you want to hang out because you're moving? Brother, it's a pandemic. Get away from me. Just saying. Come on now. Jerry says, I was waiting for your review. I have not done a under a minute review on TikTok of Sex and the City. I need to start doing it because I do enjoy it. But a lot of people, I think some people think when I do under a minute or under 15-second recaps or news, they think it's easy. To get all that information in a minute, that's not easy. That's not easy at all. But anyways. Yeah, Shay says, yeah. Shay, is that you from the show? Shay says, yes, the neighbor was like cringe. I don't blame the neighbor. But to see Charlotte in this light, to see this episode where you're getting all the ladies are having their separate time with their person of color friendships, that was a little, I don't love the forced diversity because it doesn't read natural. It doesn't read natural. And I kind of wish they only did it maybe with a couple of the ladies. Not every single lady has a diverse friend in this episode. So it did feel a little forced. Miranda, as you know, the last week, Miranda had a situation with Shay. She got shotgun, new term to me and never heard of that in my life. Well, she wakes up smelling like weed. Brady's like, you smell like weed. And Brady's girlfriend, girl, you're in someone else's house. Mind your business. And who are you talking to like this? Anyways, but it seems as if, I know someone called in the first week when we recapped this saying that Brady should have been the one sort of, getting Miranda together when it comes to what's going on in the world. But actually, it's not Brady, who's a white cis man. Who, I don't know what the girl is. I think the girl is also a girl of color. I'm not sure. She looked maybe Latina, I'm not sure. So she's the one who's sort of giving Miranda that pushback in regards to what words that Miranda's using. So I get now, you know how we were all questioning and saying that, oh, it should have been Brady sort of being the woke one in the family. Well, again, Brady, a white cis male. That's not gonna... Damn, Marsha, where were you last week? Marsha's like, what, Kempire, you never heard of a shotgun? No. First of all, don't smoke, don't drink. Didn't really go out a lot. I mean, I did go out a lot. I mean, I did in my heyday, but I'm definitely not that guy. And I'm definitely not that guy. Marsha was very dramatic. Sorry for the cabs. It's all right. Meme says that girlfriend would be put out of my house. But then again, in real life, would someone like Miranda put this girl out of her house? Probably not. In your house, probably, but not in a Miranda's house. Just saying. Kirby Queen says, what is a shotgun? You have to watch the episode. Well, okay, now you don't have to watch the episode. Kirby Queen, a shotgun, from what we found out in this last week's episode, was when Shay blew the weed smoke into Miranda's mouth. First of all, in the age of a pandemic, I'm just saying. Carrie, yes. Miranda is drinking a lot. We get another inkling of that when all the ladies are together, when Miranda, Charlotte, and Carrie are together, and Miranda's like, oh, want to get another thing? And Charlotte's like, oh, no. So we're still, I think it's this underlying thing. I'm not sure if we're going to really address it in this season. Maybe they'll address it as a cliffhanger for next season, but they're slowly, you have to pay attention with Sex and the City, the producers and the writers. They're very clever. They're very particular in regards to what they're doing in the story and some underlying things. One of the things was, you remember the purple sequence bag that Carrie lost? I forgot what season it was. She didn't lose it. It was stolen. She had that same bag. And I don't know if they intentionally did that or they forgot that it was stolen from that guy when she was mugged. Well, she had it in the new series, the same exact bag. So funny. Marcia says, do y'all actually believe Miranda is an alcoholic? I don't know if she's an alcoholic, but there's a situation. I'm not one to jump and say someone's an alcoholic, but there is a situation. Okay. Alim says, but now, no, ma'am, COVID. Yeah, I don't know about ever, to be honest with you. Unless we are together, I don't need you blowing anything in my mouth. Remember, anyways, let's move on. Okay. So here's one of the greatest things that we got from this episode. And if you're not from New York, you're not going to be able to appreciate this moment. So Carrie, as you know, last week ended the episode saying, and just like that, I walk myself home. So she's at her home. She tries to use an old coffee maker. It doesn't work. She goes to her delicatessen, her corner store. I said, that is so New York. And we never got a moment like that during Sex in the City. We never got a corner store moment. New York City, no matter where you live in New York City, there are corner stores. There is a delicatessen. We don't even call it a delicatessen. We call it a deli or a corner store. Even in Manhattan, even in some of your cutest neighborhoods. I said, oh my gosh, how did we not get this in Sex in the City? A bodega. Well, it depends on where you are, Janae. It depends on where you are. Maybe in the Bronx, we call it a bodega. Here, certain Brooklyn, there's certain places we call it a bodega. And and that's the thing. When she went into the bodega, I said, this feels like home. Oh, everyone's saying bodega, bodega. All right, calm down. We call it a deli, honey. No, it depends on where you are. It depends on where you are. It depends on where you are. Trust and believe, I'm born and raised in New York. Don't come for me. Alim says, I just realized we never had a bodega moment in all these years. Me too. That was the moment that stood out to me the most, and it felt like home. And the people in your bodega or your corner store are always sort of like, they're like home. They know you by name. They know what you like. It felt like home. Jordan says, from Queens, I call it a bodega. Theo says, bodega sounds fancy. I mean, not in New York. Jordan says, or corner store. See? But bodega, deli, your corner store, the fact that we got that moment, finally, after all these years, we didn't even get it in the movie. Someone says, bodega sounds like a bag. No. Melanin says, I like that. Me too. First of all, she also reveals to her the delicatessen owner, to the bodega owner about Mr. Big dying, and he gives her the coffee for it. That is not unusual. Your bodega is sort of like when you go to the bar and your bartender listens to your problems. Your bodega owner knows everything about you, knows what's going on in your life. See, everyone's coming out with what do you call it in the Bronx? The Bronx is corner store. I mean, I've heard bodega, I've heard corner store, the deli, all kinds of stuff. See, SW says, I say deli because you guys are hilarious. You were hilarious. Shout out to our replay crew. Let me know, what do you guys call it? If you're from New York or even your area, what do you call that store? I can't believe all these years we're just in 2021. Shout out to the writers for this moment. We needed it. None of us who are from New York even realized we never got a bodega moment. We never got a bodega moment, but finally we did. Finally we did. I'm moving on. I spent way too much time talking about that, but to me, that was the best moment in this episode. The best moment in this episode. We meet Sima. Oh, wait, do I have a picture? Sima is selling. Let me move this over here, y'all. Sima is the one in the middle. We've seen Sima in so many other things. I know that's not her real name, but we are in our own imaginary world of Sex in the City, and just like that, okay? None of them have real actor names, okay? SJP is Carrie. Sorry. So, of course, you may recall, I reported when we heard about the Sex in the City reboot, they were going to get a little bit more diverse, and they really are. All three of these ladies in this episode were the ones being highlighted with the other three ladies that we have come to know and love. But Sima, in the middle, plays the real estate agent and is forming this friendship with Carrie because Carrie wants to sell the apartment that she shared with Big. And I like her. I kind of feel like this is going to be sort of the Samantha. I know a lot of people want to get away from that. I know producers probably want to get away from, oh, we're not trying to replace Samantha, but she gives me Samantha vibes. She gives me the funny. She gives me the sass. She gives me, I'm dating. I'm single. I'm trying to find somebody. I enjoyed it. I enjoy her. She's gorgeous. Sima is gorgeous. I mean, they're all gorgeous. Do you see these women? They're all gorgeous. But I like, and I know it feels like forced diversity because we're getting everybody, but that's New York. New York, if you look at your own friend group and you grew up in New York, your friend group is not just all Black people. Your friend group is not just all white people unless you grew up in Staten Island. But even my friend group in Staten Island wasn't all white people. It was Black, it was Indian, because I just grew up in that type of neighborhood. I didn't grow up on the other side. Shout out to the other side. But I had Indian friends, I had Asian friends, I had Black friends, I had white friends. That was New York back in the 90s. We never got that on Sex and the City, and that's why a lot of people are like, we love Sex and the City, but it really wasn't representative of New York. So, of course, in this new version, they're really trying to lay it on thick. And I know a lot of you are not comfortable with it, but I think they're trying to find their way. You're trying to find their way. Okay. Okay. Who's definitely the sexiest, Courtney? Who are you referring to? Sima? I love Sima. Sima was giving me life in this episode. I just loved everything about her. I liked her personality. I like that she's sexy and single. I'm looking forward to more of her. I'm so mad we're just getting her, but I'm not mad because then it's not forced. If they were to give us Sima in episode 1, I'd be like, all right. The same way they kind of gave us, Nicole Ari Parker's character, Lisa, very early on, but it made sense. It made sense. Exactly, Diana. Sima is Indian, which is Asian, South Asian. So, yeah. Okay. Let me take a sip. Do you guys want to call in? Let me know in the chat if you want to call in. I'm going to drop the call in link. Only if you guys want to call in. We have over 200 and something people watching. Be sure to like this video. Normally, we would do this recap of Sex and the City Reboot and Just Like That on a Friday evening. But as you know, last week, been pretty busy. This week, tomorrow, it's Christmas Eve. I don't want to take up any of your time. I don't. I know you all are busy doing last minute shopping. So I said, let's do it tonight. I got a little energy, got a little spice in my step. Okay. Hold on. Oh yeah, Alim, I agree. We talked about this last week. It doesn't make sense to eat someone's fry off their plate that you just met. It didn't make sense even before the pandemic. But after the pandemic, makes even less sense. I didn't like that. That was so weird. I was like, who wrote that part? Who wrote that part? And Nicole, I know you're new on the set, but I would have given them that note. I would have given that note. Maybe she did and they ignored her. Or maybe she didn't want to ruffle feathers. But Nicole, I would have been like, girl, Michael Patrick King, a Black girl ain't gonna do this. I'm just gonna tell you, y'all trying to be diverse. A Black girl is not gonna do this. I don't care where she grew up. Oh my God. I'm just saying. Thank you so much for the roses. TikTok, be sure to tap your screens. We have over 2,500 likes. Guys, if you haven't liked the video, it's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. I appreciate everyone that has liked the video. And if you've been watching for the last half hour, you must like what you see because you're still watching, right? You're still watching. Okay. Anyways. So we're talking about the Sex and the City reboot and Just Like That. And I want to move on. Okay. So Charlotte is going through her guest list because she's trying to, rewind before we get to Charlotte. The podcast supervisor in the wheelchair, again, I feel like they're forcing diversity. I know that, I want this, but it just feels like, all these moments of diversity, I'm just like, it feels a little forced, but she was hilarious. She was like, yeah, I'm so sorry that you lost your husband. Get your socials up. Get your socials out. I still predict a love affair between Carrie and the producer, who I love. I've seen him in other things. I can't think of what they are. I love it though. We shall see. Yeah, a lot of people are saying forced. It was a forced moment, but look, they're trying, y'all. They're trying. They could have tried a little harder with that French fry moment, but it is what it is. Okay. Oh yeah, someone in my chat, in my TikTok chat says Miss MBA says, "Oh my God, yes." I was like, "Damn, even someone in a wheelchair," which we want. We want. It just felt a little forced. We want to see the representation because that's a part of the world, but it just feels like it's so forced everywhere you turn. But it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. We got it there. We have it. We want it. All right. Okay. So Charlotte is planning this get together, but she doesn't want her new friend Lisa to feel like that's her only Black friend. So she's trying to find a Black friend to be a part of her dinner party. She even asked the lady at her school. Mind you, I don't know how you parents do it when it comes to these, because now parents have to be so. When I grew up, my mother did not have to do half the stuff that you guys have to do now as parents, where you're forced to be a part of school things. And I'm just like, I don't know how y'all do it, because then you have to deal with personalities like the one that we meet in this one. But Charlotte is desperate, and she even invites this lady. But luckily for her, she ends up canceling the dinner because Lisa's not able to make it. Okay. Moving on. Miranda. I don't know how I'm feeling about Miranda and her relationship with her professor. I thought their conversation was necessary. The conversation that she has with her professor, I thought was necessary because a lot of women have these feelings of career versus family and what am I going to be missing out when I choose one or the other. And I liked hearing Miranda's perspective. And I also liked hearing her professor's perspective and how she's like, I kind of have a sigh of relief when the IVF doesn't go through. And then part of her also feels like, well, will I regret not having kids? I won't. But I get for women, it might be a different experience, a different feeling, especially because women have been pressured throughout time that this is what you're supposed to do. But I also love what Miranda says. She's like, every once in a while, I think to myself, oh, it'd be nice to come home to an empty house and to be a judge. I was like, I can understand that, Miranda. But would it be nice to come home to some screaming kids? I'm sure there are some moments like Christmas time where that would be nice. Oh, am I getting in my feelings? A little, but I've moved on. Kirby Queen, thank you so much for the super chat. Mr. K, Merry Christmas Eve. I'm so excited. I can't sleep. 2:31 a.m. I'm here setting the mince pies and milk for Santa. Kirby Queen, thank you so much for always supporting, and Merry Christmas Eve to you as well. And thank you for being up for this. Woo, it's late in the UK. It is late. Oh, okay. Courtney says Brady's girlfriend is Italian, Kempire, not Latina. All right, I wasn't sure. But is she Italian in real life, or what is she playing on the show? Wouldn't surprise me. You know how Hollywood do. Norma, let's talk about this because we get this sort of towards the end. Norma says it bothered me that Stanford was sent to Tokyo and divorcing Mario. I mean, the sex offender has a nice memory. Damn. Not cool to do that. Do the beloved Willie Garson. His memory deserves better. Well, you know what? Mind you, they did that probably hoping that he wasn't going to pass away. I don't know if they knew that it was terminal. Maybe they were hopeful because remember he got sick during the filming of the series, so maybe they were hopeful that he would. Because this was probably written before this was definitely written before he passed. So I'm thinking that's what it is. And mind you, they didn't know about the whole Mr. Big stuff. Because maybe they wouldn't even invited him back. Maybe they would have killed him off before he even came back. I didn't like the way they handled this, but maybe, like I said, based on what the timing of everything, maybe next season they will changed the way that it is. I don't know. Okay, see, Kayla says Brady's girlfriend is Ecuadorian and Italian. I knew it. I knew something. Anyways, it doesn't. Oh yeah, see, Brady's actress, Brady actress is Latin in real life and from Queens. She looked like she's from Queens. All right, see, all right. Thank you guys for doing your research. You know, I can't look. She hasn't really been that important into the story yet, but I feel like she's playing that role, and I think they chose her to be that person in Miranda's life as opposed to Brady. Okay, which makes sense to me. But at the same time, I'm like, why do we always got to be teaching you? Let me drop the call-in link just in case you guys want to call in. Happy holidays. What's going on with me? All right, let me move on into the other parts that I want to talk about. Hold on. Thank you, Diana. Yes, thank you to all of the amazing sponsors that gave away amazing gifts this season for our 12 days of giveaways. It is over. Thank you to everyone that was a part of it. Thank you to all the winners. And thank you to all the sponsors. Okay. All right. Let me move on. Back to this. One Risa says this was his departure from the show. Yeah, I think this was the way that they thought they were going to handle it, with hopes of keeping the door open for him to come back. Okay. Back to this. So Miranda has a conversation with her professor. I loved that conversation. Moving on, Carrie and Sima go looking for a new place. They're building a friendship, but Carrie's not sure if this is actually a real friendship or just a real estate person. But you can see that they're sharing moments. They're having conversations. They're talking about Sima's dating life. I kind of get the feeling that Sima's going to come in to be Carrie's new Samantha. Mind you, her name is Sima with an S. I just noticed that myself. Just saying, pay attention, y'all. Pay attention. Charlotte goes to the dinner. She's the only white couple there. And the first thing that came to mind for Black people, it's not unusual for us to invite people that aren't necessarily Black into our spaces and be very welcoming. But Nicole Ari Parker's character, Lisa, was like, I wasn't sure how you would feel as a white person amongst all of those Black people. I don't think a lot of Black people have those thoughts, to be honest with you. And I kind of feel like a white person wrote that, to be honest. Can we be real? I just feel like, yes, we do have those moments, but I think because as Black people, so many times we are the ones in spaces where it's just us, that we're a little bit more different when a white person comes into our spaces and it's just us. You know what I mean? Just saying. Look. That's just the thought I had. Exactly, Shay. So we are always the minority. So we're used to that. And again, I feel as if whoever wrote that is the same person that wrote the French fries scene. But I'm still enjoying the show. But we're going to call you out. We're reviewing it. And we got a lot of white people in the chat too. Just saying. And I feel like, shout out to all the white people. We have a lot of white people that follow us and watch us too, because we talk about a bunch of stuff here. And I love that you are part of this conversation so you can hear what we think about in these spaces. So when Nicole Ari Parker's character said, "Oh, I was concerned about that," I kind of wish they didn't even add that in, because honestly, I'm not speaking for all Black people because I can't, but I think a lot of Black people would agree with me. No, we don't have those thoughts. We are more than welcoming for other people to be in our spaces. Usually, we are the ones that are always the only Black ones in certain spaces. So I didn't, that part I was like, you could have left that out. I love the apartment though, and I love the art. And I love that Charlotte got her mother-in-law together about the art and her spending so much money on the art. Whatever. And I just loved seeing all of those Black people dressed up fancy and all kinds of stuff. I liked it. I liked it. With that being said, let's move on. What else did I want to? I cringed a little bit when Carrie, first of all, they redid the apartment that she had with Big because they're selling it. If they're selling a space, you got it looked completely different. Didn't like it, whatever. Got to do what you got to do to sell a place. So she takes his stuff, his stuff. She takes his ashes and she puts it in the closet. And at first I'm like, oh my gosh, she's going to put them up there with the shoes? And then she says, I'm just going to put you here because I guess she knew that we all were going to feel away. I put you here until I'm able to figure out where I want to put you or where you would want to be. I was just like, okay. It was a little interesting. It was interesting. Okay. Okay. Let me see what else did I want to talk about. Oh, she finds the letter from Stanford about him moving to Tokyo. And then Anthony knocks on the door and Anthony reveals that Stanford's divorcing him. I don't know. I feel like they could have did this better. I don't think they should have killed him off because literally he was still alive. So I think that would have been disrespectful to the actor. He was literally still alive. I know for us, we found out he had passed on and that he had a cancer battle. It just wouldn't have made sense. I wonder what they will do in the future because they left it open for him to come back. So I wonder if they will do something different next season. But may he rest in peace. May Willie Garson rest in peace. He gave so much. I'm so glad that he was able to be a part of this new iteration of Sex and the City. He gave so many really funny, incredible moments in these first 3 episodes. I'm so glad that he was able to be a part of it. So glad. Yeah, Better Day says they could have done a lot better. And maybe they will. Let's. Oh, Lim says, Willie's from my hometown. Where's your hometown? Norma says, I was okay with him traveling, but not divorced. I know it felt like, okay, so dramatic, but I guess it was supposed to make sense. If he's going to be traveling for work, what's going to happen with Anthony? Anthony's going to cheat. No, I'm joking. Well, probably. Anthony's going to cheat. We shall see. Marcia says, heartbreaking, but glad we had a chance to see him on this season. Me too. Because he ended up getting really sick and was not able to continue to be on the show. So that was the way that they did. Look, that's the way that they did him. Oh, Highland Park, New Jersey. Shout out to everyone from New Jersey. Carrie says Charlotte kept canceling her husband's appointment. Here's another thought that I had. Charlotte kept on canceling the husband's appointment. And I said, you see what you did to Mr. Big? I was like, that's an important appointment for a man of a certain age. I hope we get to see him go on that appointment. But are they telling us something else? Is he going to have a cancer situation? And she kept on pushing it off. And then, Charlotte's going to end up crying. Oh, it's my fault. Just saying. What's going on, Iowa? There's certain states that I've never been that I would love to go visit. Ms. Brooklyn says Anthony would cheat. Yeah, he's probably already cheating. All right, let me take a couple of callers, guys. If you're just joining us, we are talking about And Just Like That, the Sex and the City reboot. Loving it so far. If you missed any of our recaps, this is our 3rd recap. We recapped episodes 1 and 2, 3, and now 4. If you're watching the replay, I want to know your thoughts on this episode. Live chat. If you had to rate it from 1 to 10, how would you rate this episode? I think I would rate this episode probably, I'm leaning towards a 7.5 or 8. A 7.5 or 8. I'm leaning more towards a 7.5, just like I felt like it was a little forced. But I'm here. I'm in when it comes to this series. I'm truly, truly, truly in. All right. Deidre says, I don't like that Carrie is selling the apartment. To me, it makes sense, but I don't want to see her stay in her Carrie apartment, though, where we've known her. But it looks like she might be moving on to buying her grown woman place. All right. A lot of people are saying 7, 8. All right. Michael Jackson. Everybody looks so great. Nice stuff. Yes. 7-7. All right, 7. All right. So Sex and the City producers, and just like the producers, you guys are doing a good job. You're still getting decent ratings. MBK says no, she needs a new place. She does, but I understand why she couldn't stay in the place where her husband died. I understand that. And I also understand when she walks back into the apartment and she almost expects him to be here. If you ever lost someone, that is so relatable where you expect them to text you or you expect them to call you. So that was so relatable. And I'm glad we're starting to see her go through these levels and stages of grief. She really is. We see that stage of grief when Sima breaks that frame, sharing the picture of them together, and she has this sort of outburst. And I said, you know what? We're starting to see that, and I think we're going to see another breakdown. Everyone grieves very differently, including Nene. If you missed my Nene story today, Nene got another man. I also posted, did you hear Apollo Nida was arrested? Guys, go check out that video if you missed it. Let me take some calls. We got a couple people backstage. I do want to hear what people have to say. Guys, if you haven't already, we have almost 300 people in the room. Be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. We are talking about And Just Like That, the new Sex and the City reboot that's available on HBO Max. I'm going to bring up Amy. What's going on, Miss Amy?
Hey, Kempire.
How are you?
Oh my God. This is my first time doing a review with Just Like That. This episode I rated it like a 5 because there was a lot of cringeworthy like parts with the whole
What was your rating?
rainbow. A 5.
Oh, a 5. Damn.
Yeah, it was a lot of rainbow coalition, and I really didn't. I kind of missed. It's sad to say, I liked when Sex and the City was vanilla because it was more nostalgia. It's not that I don't like these new characters, but it just seems like they're so not. They're not gliding together. Like, have we gotten I know the dinner scenes are not the same. Like when they go do their lunch and they sit and they share their stories, that's not the same because Samantha's not there, which is okay.
Mm.
But I think it was a lot of savior complex through the whole episode, which was hard to kind of watch.
Mm.
You
Okay.
know, like with the friendships, it seems like they're kind of giving like advice and being motherly. And I don't know if I like that. I was like, can't
Oh.
they just have friendships that are a little bit more organic and not like I'm helping you? I need you to,
Mm.
so
You
that's
have
the
some
part.
good points that I didn't think of. And that's why I love when you guys call in.
Yeah, I didn't. That's the thing. It was hard because the first 3 episodes were kind of. I liked it a whole lot, but this episode, I was like, why is it just not gelling well?
Yeah.
Maybe not so much all in one episode. Like we have the girl in the wheelchair, we have Shay the producer, then we have goodness, Carrie and her little friend that she's trying to fix and help. It was just too much. So I'm giving it to the next episode, but this episode I feel like it was a bomb. It just wasn't. I wasn't feeling it.
Well, you still gave it a 5. That's not
Yeah,
bad.
because
That's not a
I
bomb.
mean, could we not? I love to see Sex in the City. Whether it's like not, I actually went after this episode. I went back to watch the old series
Okay.
because and I miss like Carrie's narrating over the. I miss that. Like when she would be ready to write her column and she'd be like, is this something, something? And then you see the computer typing and then you're like, and then she goes into another scene and she narrates the scene. I feel like that's what
But do you
made it
think the reason why
harder,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you think the reason why they did that is because they really do want to draw that line to say that this is not Sex in the City, this is a new thing.
which is fine. But I think the wokeness turned it more cringy because the first 3 episodes were tens to me. I liked it. And then this episode was so cringy because it was so like the savior complex throughout the whole
Mm.
episode that I was just like, I want this to end now. And I mean, I still like, okay, I like the fashions. I like the relationship with Carrie and the girls talking. I just didn't like how they interacted with their new co-stars. That's all.
Mhm.
The storylines.
Okay.
I'm just being honest.
No, and we appreciate you being honest. And because I know there are going to be a lot of people that do agree with you.
I mean, I really wished it was better. I just didn't like the episode. I wanted to. I went back and watched it twice though. So maybe if I rewatch it, it'll start to run on me. I don't know. Hopefully. Other than that, I wanted to tell you because I'm like, I've never done a live with you on a sex. I mean, and just like that, because I really liked the first 3 episodes. Like when Big died, I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. And then when Stanford, that really kicked me in the stomach. When Stanford got a divorce, I was like, now they just sent Stanford off like this. I was pissed.
But again, keep in mind when this was all written and filmed, he was still alive.
I know, but I think for me, because I know he's gone, and I didn't know how I thought they were just gonna not have any more episodes with him. Maybe just like not tell what happened. And then when they did that, I was like, oh man.
I wonder though if their intention was to have Stanford more in the mix, because we got him more in the mix the first 3 episodes, and I was glad for that because it really stood out to me during the Sex and the City days that they really treated Stanford very stereotypically, like the accessory gay friend, where you only saw him when
I'm gonna say this. Once they said he was divorced, I realized how much I prefer Stan over Charlotte.
Anthony?
When he died, you know, like what's his name? Charlotte's a gay best friend. What's his name?
Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony. At that moment I was like, why couldn't it just Anthony could go, not Stanny?
Oh my God, poor Mario.
It's sad because I literally felt that at that moment, like, damn, how much I really like Stanford. There's no shade to Anthony. I didn't like his character.
That is quite, no, I'm sure there are tons of people that agree with you. And Stanford, I feel like in this new iteration of Sex and the City, I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad we got so much of him in those first 3 episodes.
Yes, and that's what made it hurt even more. I was like, we need Stanford because she's still going through the grieving process, and he just lightened up the mood. That's what I don't know.
But again, in real life, he was too sick to continue filming.
I know, and that's what makes it even more sadder. Because I was like, y'all better come back and say something else, and do not add Anthony.
Maybe they will next season.
Hopefully, don't have Anthony in the scene. Okay, I'm gonna step out. Thank you.
I appreciate you calling in, Amy J. Have a great Christmas. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Stay well and stay healthy.
Okay, have a nice night.
Bye. She was feeling that. Guys, if you just joined us, we're talking about the Sex and the City reboot. TikTok, keep tapping your screens. We are live on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. We're live on TikTok. We're live on Twitch and Twitter. We're also live on Facebook. Be sure to like and follow me on Facebook, The Kempire and Kempire Daily and the Kempire Radio Network. Follow me on all the platforms, IG, Twitter, all the places. I'm busy everywhere. All right, let's bring up Shantae. Shantae, what's going on?
Hey, happy Thursday. Happy Christmas Eve. I would give this episode a solid 7. So, and usually by now, because we're 4 episodes in, usually when something on one of the streaming apps comes in and it's so well received, they usually let us know before the end of the season it's been renewed for another season. And I'm like, shouldn't they be telling us by now? I know we're only 4 episodes in, but
probably by next week we'll know.
Or week after. Like, you know, we're just gonna like kind of week by week. Yeah. But I'm like, okay, well, we'll see. But I love Sima. You know, I'm biased because she's a realtor, a fabulous realtor, and it's 2 syllables, not 3. I heard Carrie mispronounce it. She said realtor. I was like, no, realtor, 2 syllables. And it's spelled in all caps, just so you know. Anyway, so I guess I don't think they're going to make her like Samantha. She might remind us a bit of Samantha, but I think in a lot of ways, like I said, you have to have a character and somebody there to fill a void. They can't do it replacing that person and being just like them completely. So I do see a lot of her own elements there as just her own person and just being completely different and just, you know, just not even a Samantha light. I just see a completely different person there, but in her spot, and I'm fine with it.
I felt like, you know, with Charlotte and Miranda being married, and now Carrie's a widow, she's going to need this single girlfriend.
Right. And they were talking about dating apps, and you remember I was telling us that Carrie should get a matchmaker, or maybe she'll suggest she gets a matchmaker or something. I kind of see that going on between the 2 of them. So that was very interesting. And I think it's Very telling though, how, like I was mentioning an Easter egg that somebody brought to me about last week, how the whole thing was No Place Like Home. And last week's episode, we saw her in the gingham dress, like Dorothy, the basket purse. Remember Dorothy, or was it the Wicked Witch with the bike, the basket? And of course, her saying No Place Like Home. So I'm like searching really hard for this week's Easter eggs. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it and see if I can catch it. I always try to catch things the second time around.
You saw the tutu that she came out in, the new version of the tutu.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I did catch that. The iconic tutu that everybody tries to wear, and like, nope, you can't pull it off like SJP. So
right, there's a lot of people try.
Exactly. So another thing I kind of picked up on, we can probably call it an Easter egg, maybe not, was that my God, forgive me for not knowing Nicole Ari's character's name still.
Lisa. I'm just learning it too.
Yes. So when they were at Lisa's last night at the dinner party, I noticed in her interaction with Lisa's mother-in-law, it was like a reflection of her looking back at how she dealt with Bunny, her former mother-in-law, because that lady reminds me so much of a Black Bunny McDougal. I can't stand the broad.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yes. And the way she calmly sat there and just kind of had Lisa's back, because remember, nobody had Charlotte's back when it came to how she dealt with Bunny and how Bunny talked down to her.
Mm-hmm.
So this was kind of like a redeeming moment in a way. That's exactly what that was. And she kind of backed off. Yeah. And only this time she kind of backed off a bit, because Bunny never backed down. So ever. It was like a true battle of wits of those two. Say what?
Is that actress still with us? I wonder.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to check and see.
I wonder.
I haven't heard about her passing away, because usually you hear like from TMZ or somebody brings it up.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what that was. And she just, like I said, she didn't go off. She didn't raise her voice. She kind of was just very chill about it and said, well, you know, your daughter-in-law's got this, and that, the same thing. So I don't think we're going to see Lisa's mother-in-law coming in, rearranging her furniture, bringing in new furniture, putting ducks all over the place. Yeah. So Miranda, I'm just like, I think they're going to make her a functioning alcoholic. Like, I just don't see her becoming a sloppy drunk.
Until season 2?
I don't see them doing that to her.
So season 2?
Or just, we'll start to kind of mesh her into that. It might be, how many episodes are we getting this season?
I think 10. No, 10. We're getting 10.
Okay. So we'll definitely see her go into that territory before the end of the season. But I think she's going to be a functioning alcoholic. They're not gonna be real dirty about it. Okay. Who else? Yes, Anthony and Stanny. I can't believe I gotta say them for last. Did we really ever truly want or really see them together or lasting that long though? Because I know I never did. I liked it when
they got together. I was like, this don't make sense.
Right. I mean, it's like they did it just to do it. Because it was funnier when they were on the show and they were these dueling gays, just always snapping at each other and just with the insults and stuff. It was so funny to me. And then when they put it together, it's like, well, there's no more of that. That's not fun. So
thank you so much. Way Too Young in my TikTok says the actress that portrayed Bunny is 91 years old. She is still with us.
Okay.
She's still with us.
She is a pistol. Go ahead. Don't hustle me out of here, young lady. This is Chanel.
Okay. Norma says zero chemistry for Stan. Yeah, I think they just didn't do it, but okay, I'm glad they're divorced.
It was right. And it would have been okay if they dated a little bit, you know, in that first or second movie. But then it was like, yeah, after that, the whole marriage thing, there was no way it could have worked with those two anyhow. I just didn't see it. Not with the two of them. Maybe with other people.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of where I am. But I'm starting to see them pick up a little bit more with Charlotte. Charlotte is starting to look like a back burner secondary character, and I'm like, do a little bit more. So, but that was very interesting, and that was the thing that kind of really stuck out to me, is that she was seeing Bunny and Lisa's mother-in-law.
Shantae, thank you so much for calling it and pointing that out, because
Yes.
that completely went over my head. But I think you were spot on with that.
Yes, indeed.
Anything else before I let you go?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Shantae. Thank you so much, and Happy New Year. But I'm sure I'll
Yes,
speak
indeed. Bye-bye.
Bye. See, this is why I love having the conversations with you guys. More perspectives. Share those perspectives in the comment section. I got a lozenge, y'all. Share your perspective in the comment section. I want to know, what else did you pick up from the latest episode of And Just Like That, the new Sex and the City reboot, now available on HBO Max. They do not pay me for that, but they should. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Merry Christmas. I hope that you all stay well, stay happy, healthy. Of course, I want to hear all about your holidays. Be sure to hit me up on Twitter or join our texting community. Let me post that up here. Join our texting community. Everyone stay well. Enjoy your Christmas. I don't care if you're spending it alone, with yourself. I never say alone, with yourself. Watch a Christmas movie. You never know. I might be live on TikTok watching a Christmas movie. So be sure to follow me on TikTok at TheKempire. Thank you to everyone that sent in the super chat. Thank you to everyone that called in. Thank you to my moderators. Thank you to my Team Kempire and Royal Court members. In order to become a member, head on over to TeamKempire.com. It's a great way, another way of supporting the channel. But even when you just watch, is a great way of supporting the channel. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. I will see you guys very, very soon. Let's get out of here. Let me play my favorite Christmas song.
321 days I spent the better half of the year just holding space. I've got all the lights hanging up you can see from the street, but if you're not coming over, you can light up my dreams. Every snowfall reminds me to call, 'cause I know if you're not here, then it's not Christmas at all. This year, oh, I believe you're coming back to me. I'll be your angel when the snow's coming down. The song is singing, and you're here all around. Small piece of heaven on earth in this town. It's only Christmas if you're coming around. If you're coming around, oh, oh. If you're coming around, if you're coming around. I feel like Christmas every day of the year, but I can't feel it by myself. Only works if you're here. And a little bit of magic and a little faith can make every storm that's ever come just fade away. Now every front door reminds me of you, all decorated, anticipating good news. I've got one Christmas wish, top of my Christmas list, to be your angel when the sun's coming down. The song is singing, and you're here all around. Small piece of heaven on earth in this town. It's only Christmas if you're coming around. If you're coming around, oh, oh. If you're coming around, if you're coming around. I don't want much this time of year, no. Everyone wants to feel it somehow, but just like putting on a winter coat, you could always melt away the bitter cold. I'll be your angel when the snow's coming down. The song is singing, and you're here all around. Small piece of heaven on earth in this town. It's only Christmas if you're coming around. If you're coming around, oh, if you're know you're coming now.
Thank you all for watching. Merry Christmas and have a fantastic, fantastic time with your friends and family. I'll talk to you guys very soon.